Hello there. And I'm wearing the same thing as my other video, but mind your fucking business. Anyway, I am going to give you guys a few tips for I guess traveling. I'm going to do two. I'm doing one for quarantine because I know that Korea is not the only place that you have to quarantine in when you arrive. And I'm doing one. This one is going to be how to survive a 15-hour flight or long flight, 15-hour plus flight. So, for starters, I think what is very important is to wear very comfortable, loose clothing. What I usually wear is like baggy t-shirts, and I bring a sweater just in case it gets cold, and very loose fitting, like soft material pants, not sweatpants, because some sweatpants can be like tight around, at least for me, obviously I can't talk for everybody, but anything loose I think is the best because you're going to be sitting down for a very long time and it's best to have circulation. Speaking of circulation, number 2, get up a few times. I don't even know who can sit down for 15 hours and not stand up, but try to get up at least every 4 hours, every 3 hours. And when you get up, if you don't want to look like a weirdo like me, you can walk to the bathroom and obviously you're walking back. Something else I highly recommend, 3, is stretch. So what I would do is when I would get up to walk to the bathroom, I would stretch when I was in the bathroom. Stretch out your legs, especially your arms. Just move around your back, move your neck like this. Tip number 4. Buy a water bottle at the airport and fill it up with water before you leave, because they do give you water in the airplane, but if you've ever been in an airplane, they give you like those little cups and it's only a few times. So I really do recommend you fill up a water bottle and have it with you, because I'm not the biggest water drinker, okay, which is bad, I know, but I'm not, and I drank the entire thing, so I'm just saying. Number 5 is try to sleep as much as you can. It is easier said than done because it is hard to sleep. Well, at least for me, because I'm a very light sleeper. It is hard to sleep when you're sitting down or when you're in that one position. But I recommend it because the time goes by a lot faster when you're sleeping. Tip number 6 is, what was it again? I should have written this down before I talked about it. Tip number 6 is don't look at how much more time you have left for on the flight. This is a tip that I think is I don't know if it would help everyone, but it helps me because when I would be checking all the time, like looking and checking and looking and checking, being like, okay, well, 10 hours left. Okay. 10 hours and 30 minutes left. Okay. You know what I mean? Like every time you're checking and it's like 1 minute less, you're like, fuck, why has it made it so long? Like, bro, it's 15 minutes. It's going to be a long time. So just don't look at it. Once you are pretty far into the flight, then you can look at it if you want, obviously, but I just recommend you not look at it constantly because it will be a little bit I don't know, it can make you desperate to for the flight to be over. So yeah. Tip number 7. Am I 7? Yeah. Bring an extra pair of clothing in your carry-on bag that you're carrying into the plane. Now, this obviously depends on the person, but it is so good to do this because you can, once you, like, if you change when you're about to land, you feel like a fucking new person. Yes, I know that you haven't showered, but if you're wearing a new pair of clothing and new everything, you feel so much better. So I recommend this. I also recommend, I mean, this I guess only applies to people who maybe are more into skincare, but I recommend, I mean, honestly, I feel like this would help everyone. So I guess this is number 7. Bring a tiny little travel face wash. Mine was from Korea, so I can't like recommend any, but just like a small one, obviously, that you can take on the plane. Because if you wash your face and you change and you brush your teeth and everything, and you brush, you obviously also bring a little brush, you brush your hair, you feel redty and you feel so much better. Because imagine you're 15 hours sitting in one spot. You will be greasy as fucks, probably maybe sweaty, just nasty. You just feel gross, okay? So, and yes, we can all be like, it's fine if we feel gross, right? Like, we can survive it, but it is better when you feel better. It's better when you feel good, because now when the flight like gets to your destination, you are feeling fresh and you're feeling energized, and you'll be ready for like going through immigration, picking up your luggage. If you're going wherever you're going to feel like more energized, and you won't be that like feeling that shitty. Another tip, number 8, shift your weight while you're sitting, because your ass is gonna hurt most likely. I can't speak for everyone, but my ass was hurting sometimes. So you can either put the pillow on one side of your, like, one cheek, and then like stay like that, or put the pillow on the other cheek, flip it around, or you can just like change your sitting position. Different kinds of, like, just basically changing your position is really, really good. It just helps so much. Oh, tip number 9, bring a neck pillow. I don't know how people sleep on the plane without a neck pillow. A neck pillow. Just, you know what I do? I literally just strap it onto my book bag, that's my carry-on. That's it. I know it's probably, you might think it's a hassle. It's worth it. It is worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. You will sleep so much more comfortably with it on. It's worth it. Now, tip number 10. Make sure you know what kind of diet you have beforehand, and you put it into your like your thing. Make sure you let them know. Like, obviously most of the time it's like a day before or 2 days before at least that you're supposed to let them know, but I would say when you buy your ticket, put it in like what diet you have, because I'm vegetarian, and I mean, it's just so helpful when you actually get a meal that you can eat fully, because you obviously will get hungry at weird times, and it's just so much more helpful when you give them your diet ahead of time. They have so many different diets. They have diabetic diet, they have halal, they have gluten-free. There's just so many different diets they have. They even have low-calorie diets that you can request. Vegan. So make sure you put that in very early before your flight, because it is important to be able to eat during 15 hours, or eat decently at least during 15 hours. I know it sounds like it's nothing, but trust me, when you are already kind of like not like uncomfortable, when you're uncomfortable already, it's just so much better when you have a meal, a good meal. So yeah, those are my 10 tips for surviving a long flight. Yeah. If you guys have any more tips, you can comment below and write them down. I'm sure someone else will read them and it might be helpful. But yes, good day. Have a good day, guys.